Nice to meet you, I'm Steven.
Hello, Stephen.
Okay. We are going to interview. We are going to open a survival club, which is about a natural disaster for the earthquake, and so we are going to interview about some question about the earthquake.
Okay.
So the first question is that, do you feel the earthquake in the last 3 weeks?
Did I feel it? Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Well, I was at home. It was in the evening, Friday night, I think around 9:30.
Yeah.
And
I
I was laying in bed looking at my iPad, and all of a sudden there was a nice little shake. And my husband was with me, and he panicked a little bit. I also have a son, a young son, 4 years old, and my husband was ready to run down the hall, and I'm trying to hold my husband back. Don't run down the hall, just stay put, stay on the bed, we're fine. But his parental instinct kicked in, and he wanted to be next to our son, so we ended up standing in the doorway, which you're not supposed to, of my son's room, and my son slept through the whole thing.
How old is your son?
He's 4.
Oh, so how is his response?
He slept through the whole thing, so he didn't even know what was going on.
Okay.
So it's good.
He's
But
lucky.
our house is pretty earthquake-proof. All of our bookshelves are connected to the wall, all of our TVs are connected to the wall. Nothing major is gonna fall over, because we did that, one, to prepare for earthquakes, and two, to childproof as well. So little things like a book fell off the shelf, or some stuff fell off the mantles. Nothing broke in my house. Things just got a little disheveled, but that was it.
So, is there any service which will prove that, or you make it by yourself? I mean, some earthquake proof or something.
Oh, I've been doing it by myself.
Wow.
I'm the emergency services coordinator here, so, I've been dealing with, how to prepare for an earthquake for a while. So, stuff to prepare for,
Okay, stuff to
And,
prepare.
in our hallway, we have picture frames up in the hallway on both sides, and there's that earthquake preparedness that's like putty that you can hold stuff down so it won't fall off a shelf or something. Well, I have that
Yeah.
behind the pictures, so it helps reduce the shaking, so they'll
Yeah,
hopefully
reduce
stay
the
on the
shaking.
wall.
That's good.
Yeah.
And which floor you're living? You first floor?
Oh, yeah, we just have a one-floor
One
house.
floor,
Yep,
one floor house.
yep.
Okay. So the shaking will not too big. Because in my opinion, if you are living like 5 floors, the shaking will be a
A
lot.
little bit more.
Yeah, and you can feel that,
Mhm.
very dangerous. All right, how about continue to the next question? What knowledge is helpful for students to face a natural disaster? What do you think? Yeah.
Well,
What kind of
definitely,
knowledge?
a national disaster, obviously there's several disasters that we are aware of. Basically, it comes down to just being prepared. So if you're prepared, meaning you have prepared yourself, you have the necessary equipment, whether it's medical equipment, extra clothes, extra food, extra supplies, also preparing your house, flashlights, securing large objects, things like that. And then having something in your vehicle, because if you're away from home, have some kind of emergency pack in your vehicle. Anything you can do to prepare is gonna help bring down your anxiety level. So when you bring that down, you're not gonna panic as much.
Yeah,
You're gonna have the initial panic when it happens, that's human nature. But then after that, experience and knowledge is gonna kick in after that, and it's gonna help bring your anxiety level down a little bit. So the more you're prepared, that's gonna help make you feel, okay, I've got this, I know
Yeah,
what
you
to
got
do. I have supplies, okay, here we go, kind of thing. And also having a plan too, how are you gonna get in contact with your loved ones?
Yeah, that's why me and my boyfriend, we planning where the best way for us to meet when it happens or whatever.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Okay. I saw on your paper it say that you have to avoid a fire. So it might be happening with a fire around. So it might be happening if an earthquake happens.
So, talking about a fire alarm?
Yeah.
So meaning if an earthquake occurs, a fire alarm could go off?
I mean, what kind of situation that will make a fire?
From an earthquake?
Yeah, from an earthquake.
Such as there could be a gas leak. Gas pipes could break. And if their gas leaks out, it could ignite a fire. Or if someone's, got a candle burning or something on the stove or something like that, something's burning. If they're shaking, it spills or something falls into it, candles fall over, catch curtains on fire, anything like that, it could ignite a fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to know.
Okay, good to know. Okay, that's the main, I think it's the main question. What skill is vital important for surviving in an earthquake?
What skill is vital to surviving an earthquake?
Yeah.
It's gonna go back to knowledge. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously drop,
yeah.
cover, and hold on, that's gonna be your initial skill, because that's
Skill.
during the earthquake. So where do I go? If I'm in this room, where do I go? Under the table.
Under the table.
And think about it when I'm at home and I'm in the kitchen, where do I go? What do I do? If I'm at home in the bedroom, where do I go? What do I do? Things like that. So having that knowledge is gonna help, okay?
Drop, cover, and hold on.
Drop, cover, hold on, or get to an interior wall if you can't, if there's no table to get to, as it shows in the picture, get to an interior wall and get down.
Yeah, I saw it.
So what to do during the earthquake, what to do after an earthquake. So now the shaking stopped, now what do? I don't just run outside. No, you don't just run
That usually people
outside.
do.
Yeah, that's
Run
a lot of
outside.
people do it, will run outside.
Well, just because other people do it doesn't mean you should do it,
do.
Yeah.
okay? The reason you don't wanna run outside, cause for example, say if you run out, our front door here, there's, bricks or faux bricks on the side, those could be shaken loose and they could fall down on you, on your head, nothing's
also the
protecting your
trees.
head. Yeah, I mean, you never know what's gonna fall down. Not saying to just stay in the building, you gotta assess your situation. You gotta come out from wherever you are, kinda look around, what's the ceiling look like, what's the
I see.
structure look like? You kinda have to assess your surroundings, it's not just
Yeah.
automatically run outside.
And one of my friends say if there's a earthquake, you have to keep the door open. Is that true?
No, that originally, or I guess back in the day, they used to say they wanted you to stand in the doorway.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I
now
heard.
they're saying the doorway is
It's
not
not
the
safe.
safest, and if there's a room full of people, we're all not fitting in that doorway, okay?
You're true.
Very true.
Yeah.
So, plus, with an earthquake shaking, obviously the higher magnitude of the shaking, that door could go back and forth too. So if you're
Yeah.
standing in that doorway, or your fingers or your foot, you're gonna get injured, is what's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
happen. So you gotta be careful of doors, because they can
Yeah.
swing violently back and forth
So
too.
it's not a real truth.
No, it's not a real truth. At
Yeah.
one time, they did say that though, so people
Yeah.
still have that in their head, but now they're saying the drop, cover, hold on. Get
Yeah.
under something, if stuff falls, it's gonna hit the table.
Okay.
Get to an interior wall, so you're away from a glass, away from filing cabinets, stuff like that.
Okay. So that's the wrong information anymore. Okay, next question. Do you think school has the responsibility to show the student how to face a natural disaster?
I wouldn't say the responsibility is solely on the school. I say they need to participate, but it shouldn't be solely on the school.
Yeah.
It needs to come from all different avenues. The school needs to participate in evacuation drills.
Evacuation.
And when you're here at work, what do? Obviously, they need to be responsible for their workers and inform them, but also you're gonna go home.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do when you're home? So it's on the individual as well.
Yeah.
And also if you go to church, it's on the church to educate their people, when they're there, what to do as well. It's whatever building you're at, they should offer some kind of education there, but it's not the sole education.
Yeah, it's not so
Right,
education,
right.
but they need some education for the
Correct.
student.
Correct, so, but it is on the individual, earthquake preparedness, this has been around for a long time, but, it's up to the individual to.
But it's not happened for a while, so
knowledge.
some of them probably forgot.
Yeah, we forget, or you get used to it,
Yeah.
or you brush it off, oh, we'll be fine, oh, it wasn't
It never
that big.
happened.
Yes, so people always think it's not gonna happen to me, but it does happen,
It's not
it does
happening.
happen,
Yeah.
so,
No one knows.
yeah, it's everyone's responsibility, it's not just the school.
Just school, okay. Alright, next. Do do students need to be aware of action they can take in case of an emergency?
Yes, a person needs to know how to take care of themselves and what to do in an emergency. And not just earthquakes, all emergencies.
Yeah, or emergency.
Right, so, pay attention to the CSULB alerts that they send out, and they'll send out, for your safety, you need to do these
But
steps.
usually there's like a gunshots or someone hiding, or they are asking you for avoid some situation. I mean, when I receive an alert, it's usually like someone is in school and you have to avoid this part.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then it's telling you what to do,
Yeah,
avoid
it's
that
telling you
area,
what to
or
do.
evacuate. So paying attention to that information and applying it for your safety.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Where is the safest place to be in a natural disaster? Under the table.
Well,
I think that's true.
it depends on what the natural disaster is. If it's an earthquake, obviously drop, cover, and hold on is probably gonna be your safest bet.
So how about a tsunami? If there's
Tsunami, you gotta get to high ground.
high ground.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay.
get up. So either, going inland, if you can drive, if you can't drive,
The run.
trying to get, maybe the parking structure, getting up to the
Yeah,
top
that's-
floor.
The top floor.
A high level building is where you wanna get.
And how about tornado
Tornado, you wanna be in a basement.
in the basement?
But I think in California, we,
But do you have time to went to a basement if you saw a tornado?
Of what?
Do you have time to run to a basement if you saw
You
a
might have
tornado?
time. Usually, we don't have tornadoes here. They're
Yeah.
mostly in the Midwest.
Yes, one of my friends is that she's in Texas, and he said his brother who faced the tornado once, and he don't know how to do that, but the tornado turn his way, so he's safe.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but he don't know how to do that. He said that it's like that's his density.
Mm-hmm.
He have to dive, so the tornado turn away.
Oh, okay. But with the tornado, you want to get to the lowest level as
The lowest
possible,
level.
or you want to be in a room with no windows,
No window.
like in an inner bathroom, you'd sit in the bathtub, is what you would do, because the bathtub's gonna protect you. So yeah, every situation is different.
Yeah,
every
every
situation
situation
different.
is different.
Yeah. So I guess knowing, whatever environment you are, what natural disaster is more likely to occur. Obviously, earthquake is high on the list here, so
Yeah,
you wanna
yeah.
prepare yourself, drop, cover, hold on, have an emergency kit, have a plan, just preparing yourself, that's the best you can do.
So, as what you mentioned, drop hold on, which one?
Drop, cover, hold
Drop
on.
cover hold on and prepare the kits.
Uh-huh.
Which one is more important?
Well, they're both important, because drop, cover, hold on is during
During
the earthquake, yes. Having a kit is after the earthquake. All your stuff could be, disheveled, or you can't get to it, or not functional. But if you have this kit, hopefully, that's your backup plan. Hopefully
Yeah.
that's gonna help prepare you. What if you can't stay in your house anymore, and you gotta go? Well, what are you gonna grab?
Bag.
How are you gonna find your bag? Everything's a mess.
I will just run away.
How are you gonna find your clothes, or what if you can't get to your clothes? What if your dresser fell over and you can't lift it up? Things like that. What if you can't get your toiletries, your toothbrush, and your deodorant, and things like that? So having extra of that in one bag that is accessible is gonna help you.
Alright, that's true. According to our survey, no one is prepared.
Yeah, this is something that people either don't think it's gonna happen to them,
Yeah.
or it's overwhelming, they don't know how to prepare. So everyone knows they should prepare,
But
they don't.
They don't.
Yeah, it gets put on the back burner, it doesn't get done, or they're prepared a little, but not as much as they should be.
Yeah, but if you prepare too much like foods, you have to replace it there. Not there like yearly.
Not necessarily yearly, they have like freeze-dried goods, food that lasts for several years, and it's something where you add water to, is what you can do that's how you warm it up or eat it, kind of thing. So, it can last for several years, and they have water for, these kind of earthquake preparedness kits that last for 5 years too. So they have products, food products that will last a long time.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about the time to replace it.
Right, but I mean like, batteries in your flashlight, you know, you have to replace those every year or so.
Yeah,
So, you know, stuff
Batteries.
needs to be replaced, but not all the stuff.
okay. The other question is that what the policies and procedures in school have in place for such a situation?
Well, on the CSULB website, I don't know if you've gone and looked at the, emergency section, but they break down
They break down,
what to do if an emergency occurs, like a natural disaster, what if there's an active shooter, what if we have to evacuate, you know, different scenarios. So they have information that they supply to the students and to the staff and faculty on campus. Okay?
I think seldom people know that, because when we interviewing other staff, he said he doesn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What other staff did you interview?
we're interviewing
Mass,
a guy from ASI. I mean, in a USU building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there are different, I think different office, so.
Yep, yep.
That's a
Yeah, they
reason
have the
you should
information
know.
on the website, so it's there for the students, but
Yeah.
they just haven't gone and looked it up, or they don't know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not uncommon.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, the next question is that, do you think it's necessary, I mean not necessary, it's helpful for opening a survival club?
Anything to help create awareness and educate people is helpful, okay?
That's what we
Yeah.
have to do.
Yeah, so that's great that you wanna do it, but be prepared. You know, people sometimes resist this stuff, or they, like I said, they think it won't happen to me,
Yeah.
or they, oh yeah, I need to do that, but I gotta do other things first.
Yeah, according to my survey, I mean the survey for students, they say like, I asked him, the first question is about the earthquake is important, is emergency and you have to prepare, yes or no, right? And most people say yes, but when you ask him about like, do you want to join the club? No.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good to get the information out there and inform people and create awareness, but there's also resistance too.
Yeah, I
you
think
know.
our duty is like release this information to everyone.
Okay,
Yeah, that's our duty.
well, I hope it works out for you guys.
Yeah,
Alright,
I think it's very helpful.
Yeah, I think that's all we.
That's all we know
Okay,
today.
great. I also looked up some other emergency related websites, so I don't know if you know about these or not, but this might be helpful with you as well.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we can have
Yeah.
many resources for
For your
our
paper.
Okay,
Yeah.
good deal. Well, good luck.
Thank
Alright.
you.
Good luck with your class and everything.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you again.
Nice meeting you as well.
Thank
Alright.
you.
You have a good one.
Yep, you too.
All right.